Hi guys, welcome back. This is Erin from Painting Those Piggies, and today I thought I would wrap up kind of the year with my makeup and nail polish empties. So this is not everything. There's actually more off to the side here, but I figured I'd take all the empties of the makeup and the nail polish that I saved over the entire year and just go through what I ended up using. So I did end up using a lot. Well, this is a lot for me. This is the first year I've ever saved all of my makeup and nail polish empties, so I'm kind of excited to see what I ended up with. I kind of stopped using like makeup and nail polish throughout the summer, right into like up until the last month, I guess, just because I am pregnant, and so I wasn't feeling good. Like, I didn't want to put makeup or nail polish on whatsoever. Anything that smelled gave me morning sickness. So there was like probably 4 or 5 months where I didn't use any makeup or nail polish. So this is just from the beginning of the year, and then some of the things that I used up over the last like month and a half or two. So let's get right into it. So starting off with like the primer category, I guess, I always have a hard time with primers just because I think they don't do anything for me. I started off like, normally I have extremely oily skin, but lately, now that it's winter and with pregnancy hormones, I kind of have dry skin, which is weird for me. So obviously the most predominant item that I used as a primer is this First Aid Beauty Coconut Skin Smoothie Priming Moisturizer. I really like this. Obviously these were like 100-point samples from Sephora, and I just like bought 5 of them with my points. So I do have a couple more, but I really ended up liking this product. I like it even if I have oily skin, if I have dry skin, I use it for everything. So I really enjoyed that. I also lumped this makeup setting spray. This is like a super old bottle of the Urban Decay All-Nighter makeup setting spray. I actually really liked this, and I've been using it in a different, like another size bottle that's much newer than this one, but I ended up falling in love with this. No matter if my skin is oily or dry, I really enjoy this product. And then this I also lumped in there because I kind of use this as like a primer moisturizer. This is the Clarins Multi-Active Jouer SPF 20. I really like this. It has sunscreen in it, and the sunscreen is really effective. Unfortunately, I couldn't find this on like Ulta's website or Sephora's website, so I don't know if they make it anymore, but I really liked this product. So moving on to foundations, I used up 4 foundations. One is the mini size of the Makeup Forever Ultra HD foundation. This was in 117 or Y225. This was like the perfect shade match for me, and I really liked this foundation. I wanted to buy the full bottle, but it's expensive, but I really did enjoy this. Obviously, you can tell like what my favorite foundation is. I used 2 of these CoverGirl Ready Set Gorgeous in the shade 105. I'm also using another one right now that's almost empty, so that'll end up in next year's, but I really like this foundation. It pretty much just stays no matter what. Like, you can just be like sweating, you can be doing stuff, you can be running around, and it stays no matter what. So I really like this. My only problem is that there's like 6 shades, and the shade is too dark for me, and this is the lightest shade. So I usually have to put something lighter, mix it in, or just end up with a darker face than my body, but I really like this foundation. I also went through the CoverGirl Clean Matte BB Cream for oily skin in 510 Fair. This again is the lightest shade, but it is too dark for me. I just ended up finishing this. It's good. I like it when my skin is a little bit drier, which is weird because it's for oily skin, but I really did like this. It's just too dark for me. Surprisingly, I only went through 3 concealers. This first one is the Maybelline Instant Age Rewind Dark Spot Eraser. It's supposed to be like a treatment and a corrector. I didn't find any like special benefits from this. I didn't think it really did anything. I just ended up using it so I could use it all up. And then one of my favorite concealers is the Maybelline Master Conceal, and I really like this. I have the shade Light and I have the shade Fair, and I use the Light in the summer and the Fair pretty much every other time, but I really enjoy this concealer. Moving on to powders. Obviously with oily skin you go through a lot of powder, but I went through 5 powders. This first one is the Urban Decay Naked Skin Ultra Definition powder. I went through this like right at the beginning of the year, so I pretty much didn't use this the entire year, but it's just like a compact and it comes with this sponge. I really like this foundation. Fair Cool is the wrong shade for me. I would go with Fair Warm next time, but I really enjoyed this. Next up is this Rimmel Stay Matte. It was obviously in my project makeup pan, and it ended up like just being kind of weird after I repressed it. But normally I liked this powder, but recently I haven't been enjoying this, so I haven't repurchased it. This is probably like my 3rd one that I've gone through. I normally get Sandstorm, but I don't know. It's becoming not a favorite for me anymore. I went through this little sample of the Sephora, let's see what it's called. Sephora Matte Perfection Powder Foundation. I really liked this. This came in a Sephora Play box. I don't think I used it all. Yeah, I tried to get as much as I can without repressing it, but I really like this. Shade 14 Neutral Linen was a good shade for me. A little bit dark, but it was good during the summer, and I really like this. I would repurchase this foundation. I've been looking at the colors, but just haven't been able to decide on one. And then I did go through 2 Maybelline Fit Me powders. I really like this powder. I guess I accidentally bought the Set and Smooth one. Normally I get the Matte and Poreless, but I liked both of them equally. So this Set and Smooth one was porcelain. This is for normal to dry skin. I think I repressed this and then used everything in it. So that's a good powder. And then the Matte and Poreless was Natural Buff, so a little bit darker. And again, I did repress it and then use all of it up. So speaking of oily skin, I do go through a lot of these oil absorbing sheets. If you have oily skin, these are great. The ones that I like are these Clean and Clear oil absorbing ones. They're all the same. They end up like they're a blue sheet, but these are much more expensive. If you buy like the Target version or the Walmart version, this green one is obviously the Target version, and then this one's the Walmart version. They're so much cheaper. The Walmart one you get 100 sheets, and then the Target one you get 70. This one has 50 in it and is still more expensive, but they're the exact same product. This one I got last year at Christmas. These are the Boscia Peppermint Blotting Linens. I didn't really like this. I don't really like anything that's not this kind of like plasticky feeling. I don't think it works as well, so I didn't really like these, but these are my jam right here. Surprisingly, I only went through 1 brow pencil. Normally I feel like I go through a bunch of them, but I had a couple different hair colors this year. I started off with like blonde highlights at the beginning of the year, then I went to red, and now I'm my natural color because I haven't dyed my hair. But this one is in dark brown. I find that it works like basically if you have brown hair, it works. It's not too dark, so I went through this. This is from Anastasia Beverly Hills. This is my favorite brow pencil. I like the NYX one, but this one is just better in my opinion, but the NYX one is so much cheaper, so I kind of just rotate in between both of them. So moving on to eyes, I did go through 2 eye primers. The first one is the e.l.f. Shadow Lock Eyelid Primer. This was in my project makeup pan. I really liked this. I would definitely repurchase it again. It lasted forever and it's super cheap, and I really liked this. The second one is this NARS Pro Prime Smudge Proof eyeshadow base. I did not like this. It just didn't work for me. It creased. I just didn't like it. So I don't even think I used like it to the last drop. I just ended up getting rid of it because I did not like it. I did go through 2 eyeshadows. Well, I guess 1 technically. This one has been rubbed off. It was in my project makeup panning, and this is the Stila Waterproof, I think Smudge Stick it's called, and this is basically like a cream eyeshadow crayon. I used it all up. This was a good color. It was in the color Antique, kind of like a soft rose gold, so I really liked that one. This, I'm sad to see go. I think I'm actually going to take the eyeshadows out of this and just save the packaging. This Too Faced Sugar Pop palette has expired. I keep trying to use it, but I get like a really bad allergic reaction when I do, so it doesn't look like I used it very much, but I've used this palette a ton, and so I'm kind of sad to see it go, but it has expired at this point. I am getting rid of one makeup brush. I did have 2 more beauty blenders that I also retired, but I didn't really want to clean them just to put them in this video, so I didn't. This Lancome powder brush is like the scratchiest brush I have ever felt in my entire life. Like, it is just so scratchy, it hurts my face, so that is gonna go. I did use up, well, kind of used up 7 eyeliners. The first 2 are these Smashbox Always Sharp liners. I really like this. I didn't even realize that this one was empty. This is 3D Night Gem. It's basically like a shimmery kind of charcoal. I didn't realize this was all used up until I went to use it the other day and it was gone. So that one is done. And then I did thankfully use up this black one, which was also in my makeup project, but I don't ever wear black eyeliners. I just think it's too harsh on my eyes. I prefer brown or purple or anything else. So I did manage to use one black eyeliner, and that's like a lot for me, but I do really like the formula of these Smashbox Always Sharp. I have a bunch of other colors to go through. 2 eyeliners that expired, actually. This one is the Jane Water Resistant Eyeliner. I really, really like this color. It's in Purple Lilac, but the last time I used it, it just like made my eyes really swollen and puffy. The same with this one, Urban Decay 24/7 Glide On Eye Pencil in Delirious. For some reason, like, I have trouble with purple or red pigments in like eyeliner, mascara. If it's like a red tinted mascara, I have problems like being allergic to that. So these I'm just going to get rid of. They're also really old. Did also use 2 or 3 more eyeliners. This first one is the Stila Smudge Stick Waterproof Eyeliner in Moire. This is like a army green with gold glitter in it. Really liked that color. I like to wait until these are like 50% off when Ulta does like their 21 days of beauty, and then just buy them then, because then they're half off. I did also go through 2 Urban Decay eyeliners. These are my favorite eyeliners by far. I just wish they weren't so expensive. This first one is in Mugshot, and it was kind of like a bronzy, shimmery bronzy color. And then I did go through this one as well. This is Glitter Rock, kind of like a glittery, kind of pinky brown mauve-y shade. And so those are the eyeliners I used up. Now this next category is kind of horrifying, but I went through, let's see, 4, 8, 11 mascaras this year. A lot of them are minis, but I pretty much, even when I wasn't wearing makeup at all, I'd throw on mascara because it would make me feel like I wasn't dying. But I used 11 mascaras, so I'll just go through them. This first Clinique High Impact Mascara, this was just like a tiny sample size. I did not like this. I didn't think it stayed really well. I've had LASIK, and so my eyes can tend to be like, they can be dry, they can be watery, and this I found did not stay. Normally I don't have any problems with like mascara running or flaking on me, but this one did, so I definitely did not like that one. This next one I only used a couple times. My sister gave it to me. This is the Stila Huge Extreme Lash Mascara. This I was allergic to, unfortunately. I thought it was pretty. It gave like fluttery looking lashes, but it just made my eyes irritated, so I only used that a couple of times. This next one, Marc Jacobs Velvet Noir Mascara. I liked this one. I used it up completely. Really enjoyed this one. Again, this one came from my sister because she didn't like it, but I thought it looked really good on my lashes. Next is a little tiny sample. This was probably like, I don't know, a sample from Sephora, like a little free sample, but I really liked this mascara. It's got like a huge wand on it, but I thought it was a really good mascara. I also used the mini size of this. I had one of those sets that had like 5 mini mascaras in it, and you pick the one you like and redeem it for like you have a voucher that you can redeem for a full-size one. So this was one of my choices, and honestly this was like my second favorite in the whole kit. but it really just got beat out by this guy right here, the Cosmetics Superhero. I had never used this before, but it was my favorite in that kit, so I ended up getting a full size of that one from that kit. I just think it looks really good on the lashes. Next up is this one, Urban Decay Troublemaker Mascara. I really did like this one as well. This little tiny sample guy lasted me quite a while, but I really liked this one as well. I guess most of these I pretty much liked. Only a few I didn't like. This is one I didn't like. Everybody talks about this, the Tarte Lights Camera Lashes, but I don't know, I just didn't like it that much. It just didn't really do much for me, so didn't like that one. This one I really liked as well. This one I had bought, well, actually my husband picked this out because I was gonna film a husband picks my makeup. So like we went out, bought all this drugstore makeup, and then I never filmed the video. So this was actually the mascara he picked, the Voluminous Feline, I believe it's from L'Oreal. I really liked this mascara. He did pick the black brown shade, but I just ended up wearing this more on natural looking days when I didn't want like, you know, crazy black mascara. So this was good for those more natural makeup days. The brush is pretty interesting, but I really liked this mascara. It's also a little bit one of those more flexible mascaras. And then I have two of the Urban Decay Perversion mascara. I really like this mascara as well. I use these down to the very last drop. I really like this formula as well, but it is expensive. So like this full-size one, I waited until it was on sale again in the Ulta 21 Days of Beauty and got this for half off, which is a good deal. Next up is my perfume category. I didn't do too well, but I'm happy that I finished this bottle. Well, it's almost done, but I finished this guy up. This is the Coach Poppy perfume. I love this so much. I didn't even realize they still sold it, but this is like, I don't even know how old, like a decade old. Like it was ridiculously old. So I'm happy to have finished that. And then I finished up 10 little mini samples. I have not worn perfume since this summer. Like I was so sick with morning sickness that anything that smelled made me sick. So I did not wear perfume at all. A couple of my favorites, the Tokyo Milk Tainted Love. That one's like pretty strong, but it's a really good scent. I also like these Viva La Juicies. I've got the glacé one here. This one I think is just the regular Viva La Juicy. Replica Beach Walk is just like one of my favorite all-time scents. I have it in the Rollerball. This Kat Von D Saint, I think I used Sinner also. I did not like those whatsoever. Marc Jacobs Daisy is a good kind of like tried and true perfume. La Vie est Belle by Lancome, did not like that. It has patchouli in it, which just, I don't know. It grosses me out. Prada Candy, really good one. Prada Candy Kiss, again, really good. And then YSL Black Opium, I bought the full-size bottle of that because it is so good. But moving on to lip products that are going all over the place. I don't use lip products that much, especially now because they're so close to my nose and I can smell them. So I haven't been using like any lip products whatsoever. I also like normally don't like them. I just don't like the feeling of them. So I normally just use chapstick, but I did go through this Clinique Chubby Stick Baby Tint. This is in the shade Budding Blossom. I really like the Clinique Chubby Sticks, the regular ones and the intense ones. These baby tint ones I don't really like. It's kind of misleading because you have this like really soft pink color, but then it kind of stains your lips almost a reddish color, so I did not like that very much. I also went through 4 lip balms. I went through a chapstick cake batter one, which I really liked, and the pomegranate gumdrop, which I didn't like very much. And then I went through 2 of my favorite overnight lip balms. They just like make your lips so moisturized, they'll like last the entire night. So this is the Jack Black Intense Therapy Lip Balm. I went through 1 of the Shea Butters and 1 black tea and blackberry. I also like the mint one, which I am working through right now. Last up is nails, and I went through quite a lot of nail products. I did do a project polish at the beginning of the year, which obviously fizzled out because I wasn't painting my nails at all. But I did go through quite a bit of nail products still. So the buffers that I use are just these little pink ones, and I get these at Sally's. I actually did buy them in bulk. Like, I bought 10 of them online when I found them. They're really cheap, and that's what I use to file my nails, well, buff them after I file them. These, I really like these files. They are 180 grit, and that's how I file my nails. It's probably like too high of a grit for natural nails, but I find that my nails grow really fast, and so I have to take a lot of length off every time I file them, so that is how I do that more easily. I went through 4 different like moisturizing products. The first one is the Nicole by OPI Oil to Go. I really like this. Nicole by OPI has been discontinued, but sometimes you can find these at TJ Maxx. I like the little like brush tip on the end, and this one smells fruity. It's not the most moisturizing nail cuticle oil, but I like this because it's a little bit lighter. I also went through this Cuticle Begone Potion, and this I got in a polish pickup. I don't remember how many months ago it was. It was probably over the summer, but this is butterbeer scented, and it smells really good. I really liked this. Again, I like that kind of brush tip applicator, and this was nice and moisturizing. I did go through the OPI Avoplex Nail and Cuticle Replenishing Oil. I believe I bought this at TJ Maxx. I liked this, but I found that towards like kind of the last third of the bottle, it was hard to really get the product out of the bottle. You have to kind of tilt it in weird ways, but very nourishing. I like this in the pen form better. And then I did go through one of the Burt's Bees Lemon Butter Cuticle Creams. This one is completely empty. I do have another one, which I have not used in months, but I really like these. It's probably like my #1 nail cuticle product recommendation. So moving on to like base coats and top coats, I've used quite a bit over the year, even though I wasn't painting my nails as much. I don't have any bottles of Sèche Vite in here, which is like my favorite fast dry top coat, just because I save the bottles and refill them with like a giant refill jug that I have of the Sèche Vite, so that's why none of them are in here. But we'll start with base coats. Well, this OPI Nail Envy Nail Strengthener, didn't really like this one too much. The Cutica Natural Nail Growth Stimulator from Zoya, also didn't really care for this one. Zoya's Armor Base Coat, it was fine. Again, not my favorite base coat. This China Glaze Strong Adhesion Base Coat, I liked it, but it smells so weird and like almost like chemical fruity scent. So I like the formula, but I just hate the scent, so I would not buy that again. And then this one, I really liked the Essie First Base Coat. I liked this one. My favorite base coat is OPI base coat. It's like a purplish tinged base coat. I also use this Posh base coat. I really like Posh products. I don't really hear anybody talking about them, but I like the base coat and I like the top coat. So that was probably one of my favorites of this year. The Essie and the Posh were my favorites. Moving on to top coats, besides Sèche Vite, I did use this Ciate Gelology top coat. I hated this so much. It was probably like the worst top coat out of all of this. I had this in an advent calendar from last year. It just never dries, so that one is pretty bad. This one, Digital Nails, Ain't Nobody Got Time for That Ultra Fast Dry Top Coat. This one I've had for so many years. I think it was like in a giveaway I won or something like that. Didn't really like this, didn't work for me. The Posh top coat, really like this one. It's one of my like top coats. I don't know where to find it. I know like I bought the base coat and the top coat on clearance at Ulta like a couple years ago, but I really enjoy this. Next is the Glisten and Glow HK Girl. You can see I didn't use all of it just because it got so thick, and I do have thinner. I just thinned it so many times that I didn't want to thin it anymore. A lot of people talk about this top coat like as their holy grail top coat, but it just does not work for me. So, you know, not all products work for everyone. This is just wasn't for me. This one I bought because I saw a nail blogger, Manny Geek, uses this. It's like her favorite top coat. It does dry pretty quickly. I still have to use like Seche Vite on top of it to get it to dry completely. I like it. I probably wouldn't repurchase it just because it does shrink a little bit on me. So I don't know. I tend to normally do 2 coats of top coat. I'll do like just a different kind of top coat, and then I'll do Seche Vite on top. I use the first top coat so that the Seche Vite doesn't shrink my polish, but this one I found shrunk my polish underneath the Seche Vite. And then one of my favorite all-time top coats, I&M Out the Door. This one I use very regularly. I think I have an open bottle right now. I really like this. You do kind of have to thin it once it gets a little bit lower in the bottle, but I really like this one. And then last up are all the polishes I used. This was in thanks to my project polish. I don't think I would have used any of them had I not done that. So I'll just go through them quickly. This was a blue from the OPI Holland collection. Really like that one. I think I have it in a full size. Purple from that same Holland collection. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to remember the names with this pregnancy brain, so forgive me for that. This was OPI's Golden Eye. I am going to save these little mini bottles because I saw a really cute idea of making little lights out of them. You just have to clean the polish out of the bottle. So this was Golden Eye. I don't really like this shade. It's just a little bit too yellow. This was from the Holland collection. Again, I can't remember the name, like a light shimmery pink. I didn't really care for this color either. This yellow, I think it was called Yellow Palooza, was from like a really old Halloween set. Terrible formula on that one. China Glaze for Audrey. This was a surprise hit for me. I did end up buying a full-size bottle of it. I did use up this red from Formula X by Sephora, which has been discontinued. They don't make polish anymore, but this is flashy. It was kind of like a jelly red. I did use up Essie Little Brown Dress. This is one of my favorite browns ever. I couldn't find a full-size bottle, so I think I bought one called Godiva, which is similar. Used up this guy right here, Ciate Pepperminty. This is my favorite mint polish of all time. I do have a full-size bottle of it. I also used up a mini of Essie Blossom Dandy. I'm not sure if I have a full-size bottle of this, but if I don't, I need to get one because this is like the most pretty, like kind of minty blue. This one, Essie's Demure Vicks. Didn't like this color, kind of like a neutral with a mauve flash to it. Just not my cup of tea. I did use up Essie's Limited Addiction. A surprise favorite for me, even though I don't like red polishes, but this is a really pretty color. Essie's Merino Cool is like such a good polish. It doesn't look like much in the bottle, but on the nails it's amazing. I haven't found a full-size bottle of it yet, but I'm looking for one. Next up is this one, OPI's Live and Let Die. Really like this one. It's like a kind of like a bluish green with gold shimmer in it. I have a full-size bottle of that one. This one is from the Venice collection. Can't remember the name off the top of my head, but I know I have a full-size bottle of this one as well. This one right here, Essie's Find Me an Oasis, a really like pale powder blue polish. Really like this color. And then last one, this one name is escaping me, just to be honest, but it's like kind of like a grungy gray. I just can't think of where it's from whatsoever. So those were all the nail polishes that I used up. 17 mini bottles, so that's pretty good. So that is everything for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed seeing this. I really liked watching videos like this last year with all the products everyone used, and I will talk to you in the next video. Bye guys.